All right, hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son. All right, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders at Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect members who are scattered to the four winds of the earth, pushing the work in truth and in sincerity, bringing forth the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy, prophecy meaning to say before. All right. So I'm going to call this lesson Slack. I want to call this lesson. Uh, Let me see. What did I have? Slack. Oh, the frameworks of the beast system, biometrics. All right. Only Yahweh Shai can save, or only through Yahweh Shai can we be saved. Essentially, basically, what this article I got is covering is that you know pretty much Esau has every angle covered. This system is for the most part inescapable. Okay, and it's inescapable, and we know why. All right, because ultimately it's the Lord. All right, it's the Lord who's pulling out all the stops. All right, and allowing this devil to do as a hireling do a certain work. All right, which is to try men on earth. Okay, according to Revelations 3:10. All right, so I'm gonna go straight into it. 2024 and the inevitable rise of biometrics. All right, it says here is have you noticed a lot of two-factor authentication prompts lately? All right, are you getting email verification codes that take forever to arrive? So you have to request another. Perhaps you are asked to do captures or captures, right, to prove you're human, and they seem to be getting more complex all the time or simply not working at all. Why do you think that might be? All right, we'll come back to that. Do you know we're in a breakthrough year for biometric payment systems? All right. And of course, all roads are leading to the MOTB, which is the RFID chip. All right. The mark of the beast. All right. Which is the RFID chip. Okay. And we're getting closer and closer. And biometrics is the frameworks of this whole beast system. This is how they're going to be able to monitor. All right. And pretty much have that eye in the sky, surveil. All right, and know where you are at all times, of course. And when they get that tracker in you, which is the RFID chip, is going to serve as a tracker. It's going to serve as a payment system. All right, it's going to serve as your personal data system and all of that type of stuff. Okay, so what we're looking at with biometrics, all right, is pretty much it's the measurement of your here we'll go into it really quick if you don't know. All right, involving the automated recognition of individuals by means of unique physical characteristics, typically for the purposes of security. So they're able to measure your characteristics, whether it's facial expressions, with your face scanning your face. All right, and now they got so intricate to the point where they're able to identify you based on how you walk. They're able to identify your expressions, whether you be happy, mad, or sad. This is the type of technology, you know, or technological advances that, Esau's pretty much got his hands on. All right. So, relating to or involving the application of statistical analysis or analysts to biological data. All right. And this is Esau pretty much being able to collect everyone's biometrics so that what? So that he can be the all-seeing, all-knowing. All right, this is part of him, or this framework is part of him reaching that godlike status. All right, so I'll continue. It says, did you know we're in a breakthrough year for biometric payment systems? According to this story from CNBC, JP Morgan and MasterCard are on board with the technology and intend a wide rollout in the near future following successful trials. In March this year, JP Morgan signed a deal with Pop ID to begin a broad release of biometric payment systems in 2025. You see? And so it's going to get a little bit more into it. It says a MasterCard spokesman told CNBC, "Our focus on biometrics as a secure way to verify identity, replacing the password with the person." You see? Is at the heart of our efforts in this area. Apple Pay already lets you pay with a face scan, while Amazon have introduced Pay by Palm in many of their real-world stores. All right. Visa showcased their latest Palm biometric payment setup at an event in Singapore earlier this year. As we covered in a recent This Week, PayPal is pushing out its own biometric payment systems in the name of preventing fraud. All right. And this is all going to be based on that notion right there. And of course, security. All right. Or convenience, excuse me. All right. And security. Right. It says, as always, this is not just an issue in the West. Chinese companies have been leading this race for a while, with Alipay, all right, having biometric payment options since 2015. Moscow's metro system has been using facial recognition cameras for biometric payments for over a year. You see? So this is the world we headed into. This is the world. This is our world, or the world as we know it as of now. All right. So for people that are saying that, that think it's a big, ploy, or it's, it's impossible for us to be headed towards the RFID chip. Well, here's the information here. All right. These are the frameworks. This is how society is being ran based off of your biometrics. All right. They're going to be able to trace you. All right. And I know brothers heard of the what's that system? Where basically you're punished. It's a merit system. I don't know why it just escaped me, but I'll continue anyway until it comes back. Social credit score, okay. And now, they got that in place in China, right, where they basically can judge you based on, your merits in society. They can give you a score. They can either boost your score up or bring your score down. If your score goes down, then you're limited to certain activities in society. All right. Now we just seen the Shalom Act, right? And it's just showing you how these things are actually just coming together. All right. And how Esau is really putting this thing together. They had the Shalom Act where now you can get punished for saying certain things about the JOOs. All right. So, when you put two and two together, now, you pretty much can understand where they're going as far as this beast system. Okay. Then ultimately, the end game is definitely the RFID chip. All right. As we see how they're setting this thing up, it says, and it's not just payments. Replacing the password with the person has already spread to other areas. Hoping to corral support for biometrics from the right, national governments are collecting biometrics to curb illegal immigration. You can expect that to spread. All right. So they're going to be able to know where everybody at. Okay. If you're illegal, if you a citizen, whatever. All right. It says the European Union will be implementing a new biometric entry exit system. See, what movies should come to mind? Minority Report, or one I like is with Forrest Whitaker, the Repo Man. All right, I was just mentioning those two movies in a previous lesson. All right, so it says biometric singing is on the rise too. See, so I don't know what that is, but let's see. Maybe they can track your voice. All right, digital signatures secured with ID verification, gaining ground in regulated sectors. This is a whole nother article, right? Let's see here. E-signatures are changing the way we regulate sectors, protect integrity of the singing process, according to the thematic intelligence analysts from global data published by Verdict. As many as 88% of the top 100 firms have invested in e-signatures. See, all right, everybody's uh, going digital. All right, according to 2021 PwC law firm survey. In the UK and EU, e-signatures are legally equivalent to wet ink signatures as a result of the EU's EIDAS. And I just did a lesson on that. All right, just explaining how the pretty much the digital ID is going to be in effect and how that is going to be widespread as well. Okay, in America, you have digital ID or real ID. All right, where your information is all digitized. And it makes sense for, like I said, we on the road to the RFID chip or the MOTB. It makes sense how that's going to be in play. Everybody's information is going to be on that. Payment system is going to be on that RFID chip, right? And then I'm going to go back to the other article. All right, just want to read a little bit of this. It says, while the eSign Act and Uniform Electronic Transactions Act, UETA, accomplishes the same in the U.S., all right, EIDAS, all right, regulation establishes simple SES, advanced AES, and qualified QES electronic signatures, with QES offering the highest level of security. QES requires a face-to-face or equivalent ID verification process by a qualified trust service provider. They're used for highly regulated industries like real estate, finance, healthcare, and government. See, so when you hire up on the food chain, so to speak, there's more. I don't want to say drastic measures, but there's more. There's a higher level of security. All right, so there's more information, more of your privacy is taken away, so to speak. Digital signatures can also be integrated into document management systems and automate the signing of signature fields. The system would allow organizations to send documents directly to the signer, who can return and directly to the sender. See, and they'll be able to do that by way of phone, because you got everything on the phone. You got your email on your phone. Motherfucker can fax you something to your phone. Well, you don't need no fax. Well, maybe that's, of course, that's still a thing. All right, I just don't know how directly it'll apply to a phone. But anyway, it says this, and then imagine the new technology that they got coming out. The Google glasses, the Oculus stuff. All right, where pretty much everything is 3D. In real time while you're wearing these glasses. So they're going to get very intricate, and imagine, how the brain chip is going to be involved and how it's going to play in this whole thing. So we can definitely see, those the movies, a movie playing out in our reality, one of those sci-fi movies, where everything is highly or technologically advanced. All right. So it says tampering and forgery risks. This fights tampering and forgery risks, all right, which is especially relevant as last year the UK saw the highest volume of fraud reported to the UK's National Fraud Database, and identity fraud constituted 70% of all cases. And so, of course, they're going to use this as the basis of pushing this, this e-signature, this digital ID and all that type of stuff. But you'll see how this is all come together. All right. Scanning, printing, and mailing documents would be eliminated, providing environmental and cost benefits. And then, they're going to be talking about, save planet Earth, reduce carbon output, all of this type of stuff that they're going to have bundled and packaged together for you to sell your ass a dream. All right. And what is it really ultimately? The scripture talk about them using all deceivableness. All right. 2 Thessalonians, I believe. All right. To them basically that perish. Here, Second Thessalonians, really quick. Hold on. And again, Lord willing, this is making sense and this is edifying. All right. So, 2 Thessalonians 2:7, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. That was the Roman Empire headed by the Edomites. It says, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, which he's being revealed now in this time, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, the prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right. His second coming. All right. Where he's going to show up. He's not going to be as a man. He's going to be as an angelic being with all power. Right. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and lying wonders, with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. Because this whole system, his whole philosophy is a deceit. All right. And it breaks so many codes and laws of the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay. And if you take on this man's way, if you worship his image, all right, if you worship his image, okay, which is what he says goes in society, all right, his norms, his laws, then what? Basically, you're going to be destroyed, all right? Salakia, because, Satan trying to play, all right? So it says, and with all deceivableness and of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. That's right. So NLT, I want to start at, because this eventually this society will, this thing will destroy you, all right? This thing will destroy you, and that's what this devil is set out to do. Okay, so he will use. Oh well, let me see. Verse 9, NLT, 2 Thessalonians 2:9. This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. All right, because he also has technology that is pretty much miracle. It's a wonder. All right, the brain chip. Paraplegic, being able to walk, using the cells in his brain to integrate with the chip. That chip integrates with the hardware, maybe a mechanical prosthetic limb, and they call it it's a term for it. It ain't coming to me, but Lord willing, if it come back up, I'll mention it. Augmentation, augmenting. All right, being augmented. Okay, so it says he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction. And that's you people here in this society, in the world. All right, he's leading you to destruction. Why? It says, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that will save them. All right, and that's why I titled this Yahweh Shai is the only route, basically, roughly paraphrasing. I actually got it written down, but I don't have a title with me right now. So, so Yahweh Shai is the only way. We can only escape this through Yahweh Shai. And the Lord is making it unescapable. So you're going to have faith. And those that scoff against faith, having faith in these times, they're going to lose. They're going to lose big. All right. The scriptures say, woe to them that saveth this life, for they shall lose it. Roughly paraphrasing, and basically, and those that lose their life shall save it. All right. Basically, those who think that, Esau is going to come in and help them out, and they choose, pretty much Esau and his ways. All right. And the beast system to sustain themselves in the world. All right. So this is Revelations 3:10. It says, because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come. This is the NLT, upon the whole world, to test those who belong to this world. And essentially that's what's about to happen. Okay. The Lord is about to try all men. All right. Especially men that belong to this world, because what the Lord is preserving those who he has taken out of the world. All right. Which is the elect, according to John. Okay. I believe the 17th chapter. So let's go back. All right. And Lord willing, hopefully you can see how this is definitely going. All of these things are going to play together. All right. The RFID chip, this framework, which is biometrics, all right, social credit system, certain laws that they're setting up to basically penalize you for, anything you do. All right. So it says biometric signing is on the rise too. Laptops, tablets, and smartphones already come with face reading and fingerprint scanning technology to confirm your identity. Social media companies have been collecting biometric data for security and identification purposes for years. Google Play launched a new biometric accessibility feature only a couple of weeks ago. It's all just so convenient, isn't it? So much faster than emailing security codes and solving increasingly impossible captchas, both of which have unaccountability. All right, got harder and more complicated recently and will doubtless continue to do so. All right. And really what you're giving up is your right to privacy. All right. So you're giving your right up to privacy. Okay. And he's going to be able to deceive you into buying into, and these technologies. All right. And that's why it's important for our times that we be as pilgrims upon earth. All right. Not being seduced by Esau's the wiles of the devil, as the scriptures talk about, his trickery. All right, because this is all that's all this is trickery. Okay. All in the guise of convenience. So it says they won't ever remove old-fashioned ways of accessing accounts, but it will get increasingly slow and difficult to use while biometrics get faster and easier. See? All right. Think about the information that you have to, stuff that you have to sign, you have to send in so they can send you money or whatever the case may be, so you can get a job and all that type of stuff. Meanwhile, the propaganda will begin to flow, which I just mentioned. Influencers will be paid to use cool, futuristic biometric payment options that feel like having superpowers in contrived viral videos. And they're going to show it. They're going to use the magic with the Hollywood stuff. All right. The Holywood, okay, which is the wand. All right. Because they use the witchcraft. All right. And they're going to woo people with the theatrics on the television screen. Right. It says biometrics will save the day in a trendy movie or TV show. Some old fuddy-duddy will go on Question Time and rant about new technology just before saying something racist or denying climate change. See? Then you got people that's going to fall into that trap, and then that's why it's important to understand this thing and who ultimately has the control and who is ultimately orchestrating all of this, okay? Because it's set up to try all men on earth, all right? And only the elect, according to Revelations, the 20th chapter, I believe, is going to overcome the beast, okay? Only the elect, all right? So Revelations 24, and I saw thrones, and they that sat, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua. All right. Those are the martyrs. Okay. Because martyr means to witness. Okay. And it says, and for the word of God, and that word is the kingdom, eternal salvation through the kingdom of God, and a righteous setup that's going to rule and reign in the earth forever, for eternity. And it's going to be a kingdom that no one's going to be able to take down. That's what we're speaking. We're speaking about that hegemony, an eternal kingdom hegemony, all right, which is going to rule, and our way, and the law is going to come forth from out of Zion, as the scriptures say, all right, Isaiah 2, Micah 4, all right, and other scriptures as well, okay. So in that thought, that ideal pushes against this whole system, all right? Okay, and they're going to condemn you for it, all right? And that's what this whole beast system is set up for. They got the AI now that can essentially go through your phone, all right, and scan everything in your phone, every picture, all right, every every message, all right, that you've typed. Okay, they already got Meta that's a part of like WhatsApp. You can type in certain words and you can look up what you put in the chat just by typing in a certain word. So they already got, it's already set up to where they're going to be able to accuse you based on what you're posting, what you're saying, and what's in your phone. All right, they can already they can go on your phone and they can pretty much come against you for what you got in your phone. And they're able to scan your phone. I forget the term they use, but they're able to scan your phone, all right, and look through all your pictures without the internet. Okay, that's a thing right now. Okay, they call it it's an AI computer chip that's put in your phone. All right, they got an AI computer chip. All right, which is in it started with the iOS, the iPhone 13, I believe. Okay, so that technology is already out. And back in Revelations 24, it says, it's in it, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai. All right. And that's not too far fetched because we had the former president, even speak on the guillotines being brought back. Now they're gonna try to fact check that and say it's fake news or whatever the case may be. That's just another ploy of Esau's propaganda, which is going to be heavily used, all right, in today's society. Okay. So it says, and for the word of the Most High, okay, which what I mentioned, part of that word is the kingdom. Also, part of that word is damnation and condemnation to all our enemies that have done us wrong. We know the scriptures say it's a righteous thing with God to recompense them that trouble thee. All right. I think that's Galatians, if I'm not mistaken. 1:6, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So we can stand up. We can say something about the oppression that was systematically done to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. But they're going to write our speech off as hate speech. What we're saying, our talking points, is hate speech. All right. So they can then try to silence us. But they can't silence the truth. Okay. So they can physically grab us up, throw us away, eventually behead us for our stance. All right. But they have to answer to the powers in heaven, which they, calling themselves not believing. All right. But you always going to fear the unknown, what you don't know. All right. And Esau has done, they know that. Okay. They know that, just to say the least. Okay. So it says, let's see here. It says, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, you see, pretty much bowing down and prostrating to it. And you can do that in a way by accepting everything that it gives to you. All right. And consenting to its behavior, for lack of better words. All right. It says, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. Right. So in his foreheads, all right, which they got the computer chip, the brain chip, right? And then they have, or in their hands, which is the RFID chip that's going to be placed in your hands. Okay. So that is all set up. All right. That's all set up. Okay. So it goes on to say, it says, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua Mashiach, all right, 1,000 years. Okay. So let's go back. All right. I might have to cut the lesson. So Salaki on that. Let's see here. Back in the article, it says maybe a major hack or cyber attack will only affect those, all right, who haven't switched to biometric authentication yet. All right. It says you get the idea, and all the wild supranational corporate megaliths, all right, will be creating a massive database of voice recordings, finger and palm prints, facial and retina scans. It's a good thing, and this is what they're giving life unto the image of the beast, that the image shall both speak. All right. Let's get it. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. And that's you rejecting this whole system. All right. You rejecting all of its splendor. Okay. All of the things that it's offering you, the lifestyle that it's offering you to live. Okay. So it says, yeah, so we got that going back. All right. It's a good thing we're ruled by a morally upright elite. Imagine the damage they could do with all of that. And this gotta be a joke right here, you know? This gotta be a joke. Okay? Because the leaders, the upright, the elite, this is what it says about the elite. Habakkuk 2, chapter 2, verses 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Right? So they're not upright, man. All right. As the NLT says, their lives are crooked. All right. So they don't care for any type of moral standpoint on where they want to direct society and where they want to direct human beings. They want to direct human beings, all right, mankind into slavery, perpetual slavery, where you worship them and serve their idols, all right, or serve them, the ideal of them as an idol, okay, which that's all going to be brought to naught, all right. It's going to receive the ultimate judgment, which is the thermonuclear fire. Okay. So it says, yeah, NLT, look at the proud. They trust in themselves and their lives are crooked, you know, and there's plenty more scriptures that, you know, talk about the elite. All right. So, yeah, although this might seem convenient, all right, and they're going to be able to, you know, ease it in on you, you know, they're already doing it through gradualism. Ultimately, they'll only deceive you. And the elect know that only through Yahweh Shai, all right, we're going to be saved. And I'm going to have to pick up on this lesson, man, maybe do a part 2. Lord willing, it was edifying. Until next time, I say shalom.